I was browsing Reddit and I came across this interesting thread. Ask Reddit always has some very interesting questions, and today's question was, what do you hate about the world most today? And there's so many things I can talk about, but in today's episode of James Complains, we're going to talk about the number one thing I hate the most about today's current climate. And it's the fact that society believes that you cannot be redeemed. Society thinks that you have to remain the same person, and we're all incapable of change no matter what actions we take part in and correct over time, right? Fundamentally, I feel like we all make mistakes. I mean, we've been making mistakes since the dawn of time, like, since kids, since birth, whatever. But the thing is, every time you make a mistake, it might take a minute for some people. Some people might learn faster than others, but the bottom line is you get better. You learn from those mistakes and you become a better person out of it. But what it seems like now is with the rise of social media and the promotion of ideals, right? A lot of people don't believe, and when I mean a lot of people, it is like a trending thing that people do not believe in any kind of change. If you used to be a person that was violent and you used to be off drugs and a whole bunch of other stuff, apparently in the eyes of the public, you can't be redeemed. You cannot be redeemed. Doesn't matter how much good you do after the fact, people will always capitalize off of the shit you did in the past. And that's exactly why I don't support the whole cancel culture thing. I mean, a lot of people don't support cancel culture. In fact, I feel like right now, most people don't support cancel culture because they're realizing how flawed it is. I mean, we saw that when old tweets from 10 years ago kept getting brought up by every major celebrity. And then eventually people who weren't that big in celebrity but had some kind of popularity. And it's crazy because, we can't constantly be scrutinized by things that we've done in our past if our actions currently reflect differently in a better light. It's so toxic. And I didn't really realize how unforgiving the world was when it came to mistakes that we've all made until, the cancel culture movement. I mean, it's like an all-time high. I feel like people want to feel like they're part of something, so they jump on the bandwagon of dunking on people because they feel good about putting other people down. And it's so crazy when people come back and they've done a lot better for themselves. They've sought counseling. They're making better decisions. They get shit on for the things they've done in the past. Like, yeah, you're a good person now, but what about the person you were in the past? And it's weird because I guess to add fuel to the fire, the same people that are doing the canceling have probably done something similar, if not worse. And so there's no accountability, right? It's very ironic. It's like the mob, right? The mob controls the viewpoints of society and how people are treated and stuff. And it's so trash. It's so trash to me. That's why when people go on these canceling campaigns, I'm not with that shit. I have my own brain. I have my own mind. I get a lot of flack sometimes for moving differently from the pack, right? Because I'm not a sheep. I'm a wolf, So people like, oh yeah, we're not doing this anymore. We're not supporting this person's music. We're not, talking to this person. We're not associating with this other person. Whatever, what have you. And I'm like, dang, bro, that's crazy. If the person, right, that I'm like, hey, what, let's give whoever a chance, right? Let's see, I've seen some changes. Let's go ahead and support their stuff again, or support them as a person, or at least, talk to them, open up some opportunity. People are like, nah, I don't care how much anybody's changed. What they did will never be forgivable. And I'm like, it's very interesting, because I feel like there's a lot of things that we've all done that would be technically unforgivable to somebody in this world, right? So why would we hold someone else to the same ridiculous standard? It makes zero sense, and there's no progress. And eventually what you do is you create a world of people who have nothing to lose, because they're like, hey, damned if you do, damned if you don't, might as well get it in anyways, So what the cancel culture movement does is it encourages people to not change, which is ironic because the whole point of the movement in general was to invoke change of some sort. So I believe that no matter who it is and what they've done, every single human being is capable of becoming a better person, a good person even. And the only way that we can turn society in a direction where we can promote that is if we allow for people and if we reward people who are actively making those changes. It's just so crazy. I know you guys have seen it before, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty interesting topic to talk about. And I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you seen a heightened sense of people just dunking on everybody because of things that they've done in the past? It's so ridiculous, right? It's like, oh yeah, like 10 years ago you tweeted some wild ass shit, or 10 years ago you shoved some person in the ground and live life, learn from it, grew up, and now you're still getting canceled for shit. That's the first thing politicians do when they're campaigning. It's like a giant shit slinging competition. They look at each other, they point fingers, and 10 times out of 10, it's an incident that's happened like eons ago, decades ago. Like, yeah, back when he was 18, he got drunk and slapped somebody's ass. And I'm like, bro, we don't give a fuck about that shit. That happened however many years ago. This person's different now. Like, I mean, you can't hold somebody accountable for some shit that happened a long ass time ago if they're a changed person, right? It's like, yeah, I've done some messed up shit, but that's not who I am now. But I feel like that's how society looks at it. They look at you based on your entire history and not who you currently are. And I think that's messed up. But that could just be a hot take. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. I like having conversations like this because it does allow me to kind of, expand my knowledge on a few things and allow you guys to give your guys' opinion. And you guys teach me a lot of stuff too, because there's some things I never knew. So how do you guys feel about this? And let me know your thoughts and feelings. The last thing I'm going to add on to all of this, it kind of has nothing to do with what we were talking about. It does and it doesn't, right? I guess it does in a broad sense, but it's general closed-mindedness. That to me is horrible. People get very comfortable living a certain lifestyle, being in a certain bubble, and whenever they see other people venturing outside of the bubble and doing things that are against the norm but are beneficial for themselves, the people who are closed-minded like to bash the people who are a bit more open-minded, and it's so toxic. We can't see change if we're living in a tiny-ass bubble. So I don't know. Like I said, you guys let me know how you feel about this whole thing. It's a very interesting world out there, but a lot of things I don't like about the world. But we can leave this conversation with a few things. You are capable of change, and you should definitely operate in life with a much more open mind. You'll live a better life. You'll be a lot happier and whatnot. And we should encourage people and reward people who have taken the time to improve themselves, because we can inspire other people to do the same, and we can make the world a better place. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.